back with a new lesson. In today's lesson, I'm going to take you through a few words and idioms that you would use in relation to relationships. Well, I have a few words and idioms here on the board for you. I'm going to tell you a story about my friend Sarah. Sarah is a very close friend of mine, and last year she was in search of her Mr. Right. Okay, what do you mean by Mr. Right? When it's time to settle down and find your spouse, the perfect person that you would like to spend your life with is Mr. Right. Or probably when a guy is in search for a good wife, he would say, I'm in search of Miss Right. So to find her Mr. Right, or to find the perfect one, she went on a blind date. Okay, so what's a blind date? A blind date is a date where you meet the person for the first time. You've never seen him or her, so it's your first time meeting. So of course it's exciting because you just don't know what the person is like. So blind date is someone whom you meet for the first time. I mean, you go on a date with that person for the first time. So my friend Sarah was really excited because she was going to meet this guy for the first time and go on a date. But being my very close friend, I was really concerned and worried about her, and I told her, okay, you're going on a blind date, but please don't let your heart rule your head. Now, I said this because sometimes we get carried away with emotions and we take big decisions. We don't think practically, we are not logical in our approach. So when you make decisions from your heart, that means your heart is ruling your head. You don't think too practically, you're not very logical. And sometimes, of course, it can get you into big trouble, or, you may just repent it. So I told her, don't let your heart rule your head. Okay, so when you get carried away by emotions, it means your heart is ruling your head. And this often happens when you're in a relationship, or when you're completely in love. So well, she went on a date, so to look good, to look pretty, she was all dolled up. Now, dolled up means when girls really dress up, they look beautiful, they look gorgeous, So we say she was all dolled up. So well, she looked like a doll basically. She was all dolled up. And when she met him, his name was Mark. So when she met him last year on her blind date, he was completely smitten by her. Well, smitten means when you see someone who's very attractive and you kind of really like him or her, and like you kind of fall for the person, find him very attractive, or completely fall in love at the first sight, you say, okay, I was smitten by her. So Mark was completely smitten by my friend Sarah. So well, these are the few words and idioms that I have for you here. I'm going to be back with some more words and idioms and continue telling you what happened between Sarah and Mark. Okay friends, so Mark and Sarah sat and chatted over a couple of drinks, and they got along like a house on fire. That means they really enjoyed each other's company, they got along really well, they bonded, and I mean, it was really fun. So we use this idiom, get along like a house on fire. When you want to say you really enjoy someone's company, you say, okay, she and I got along like a house on fire. And well, after that they started meeting a couple of times and became quite serious, They started dating regularly. So when you date someone regularly, you meet someone regularly, or you're serious in a relationship, that means you're going steady. So Mark and Sarah started going steady with each other. Well, so everything seemed fine. We were all very happy, hoping that, finally she found her Mr. Right. But yeah, and time went by and they were all head over heels in love. Now, we use this idiom when you're completely in love. I mean, you know how it is. You can't think beyond the person. The person is everything to you. So you say you're head over heels in love. But as time went by, and like all relationships face, some problems, you have fights, you have disagreements. The relationship went a little sour and it was on the rocks. Now, on the rocks means it was undergoing a rough patch. Things were not as pleasant as they were earlier, and a lot of fights. I mean, Sarah used to get upset, she used to cry a lot. So relationship was on the rocks. I mean, they had second thoughts, whether they should continue or split up. Well, but as they were head over heels in love, they decided to sort out all the differences. That means they decided to iron out their differences and, hold on to their relationship, as they both were very special to each other. So to iron out means when you sort out your problems with someone, it could be your parents, your friends, your colleagues. So when you have a lot of issues, a lot of fights, and you iron them out, that means you sort it out and get things back to normal. Now I'm going to come back with a few more words and idioms and tell you what happened between Mark and Sarah. So after ironing out their differences, they kiss and made up. Now kiss and make up means you forget all the bad times and you just forgive each other and come back to your relationship. You bounce back together. So you kiss and make up. Okay, leave all the bad. Bygones are bygones. You just leave it behind. And well, you know what Mark did? He gave Sarah a surprise. He popped the question. Now when we say pop the question, it means you propose marriage to someone. And Sarah was completely overwhelmed. She was surprised. She didn't expect Mark to pop the question so soon. And they had a courtship period of, I think, total 8 months. So courtship period is your dating period, or probably from the time of engagement to your wedding. That's called your courtship period. And after 1 month of popping the question, they finally walked down the aisle. Now walk down the aisle means they actually got married. So in a church you walk down the aisle when you get married. So they walked down the aisle. Well friends, so that's the story of my friend Sarah and Mark. And this brings me to the end of this lesson. I'm sure you find these idioms and words very useful. Please put in your comments and queries. I'll be back soon with another lesson. Well, before that, let me wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. I hope this Valentine's is very special and you find your Mr. Right or Miss Right. Till then, take care and bye.